All right, lesson 8.5, exploring and classifying polygons. Here's the deal. A polygon, P-O-L-Y-G-O-N. What does the word poly mean? Many, right? Listen, we as Christians, we are what is called monotheistic. What's mono mean? We believe in one God, right? Have you ever heard somebody say, I'm going to take you on mono a mono? What does mono a mono mean? One-on-one, right? Mano a mano. Monotheistic, one God. There are, the ancient Romans, they were polytheistic. Poly means many, right? Many gods. Polygons, poly means many. Gons means shape, right? So sides, right? And so it's many sides. The polygon is a shape that has many sides, okay? Here's the deal. It is also a closed figure. This right here is not a polygon. It's not even a shape. A shape has to be a closed figure. Does that make sense? This is not a polygon. Is this a polygon? Yeah. Yes, it is a polygon. It's a closed figure that has nothing but straight sides, right? That has line segments for sides. Is this a polygon? No, this up here is an arc, not a straight line, therefore not a polygon. Okay? Here's the deal. There are, you classify a polygon in really only one way, and that is the number of sides that it has. If you have a what kind of polygon is that? Anybody know? That's not a square. First of all, what's a square? What's a square mean? What is a square? Describe it. Describe a square. What's 4 equal sides, right? That's what a square is, 4 equal sides. This is called a quadrilateral. What does the word quad mean? What does quad mean? What is a quarter? What's a quarter? 25, 1/4 of a dollar, right? Or if I said I'm going to, cut this thing into quarters, I'm going to turn it into 4 pieces, right? Quar, Q-U-A, means 4, right? Quad also means 4 sides. We talk about the quad out there in the front on our campus. The quad. Why is it called the quad? Because there are buildings on all 4 sides, right? It's in the center, and there are 4 sides, buildings on all 4 sides. This is called a quadrilateral. Okay, that's a quadrilateral. 4 sides. Tell me this. Hold on. That a quadrilateral? Yes. Yeah, it's got 4 sides. It's got 4 sides, right? Quadrilateral. Quadrilateral simply means it has 4 sides, right? What is a figure that has 5 sides called? Pentagon. You ever heard of, what does pent mean? In Latin, what's pent mean? 5. Pent means 5. Pentagon. Okay. What about a 6-sided figure? That's called a hexagon. What do you think the word or the hex means? Hex means 6. Hex means 6. That's why this is a hexagon. A stop sign. That's an octagon. What do you think that the letters oct means? 8. I have a question. What about a it's got 10 sides. What do you think that's called? What's a 10-sided figure called? Here's the deal. Listen to this. Let me show you something. You ready for this? See if you can figure something out here.
Octagon.
What does that look like? The months of the year, right? September, October, November, December, right? September. You know what September means? Well, hold on. We know what oct means. What's oct mean? What do you think sept means? What do you think nav means, or non? What do you think right, decimal, right? A decimal or a it's 10. Notice that this is the 7th month. Now here's the deal. Why? I agree. Now, why is December then the 10th month?
No, isn't September the 9th month?
September is the 9th month, but why is it? Here's the deal. Sept means 7, oct means 8, non means 9, dec means 10. Then how come December is the 12th month? You know, there's some history behind this.
Because
There used to be 10 months, and then they added 2 months. What months do you think they added? January and February. They added January and February. But it doesn't change the fact that that's what these mean. You're gonna raise your hand and wait till I call on you, right? Right. And I'm not worried about it, are we? Are we really gonna get into that discussion, or are we just gonna mostly worry about the math part? Let's worry about the math part. Anyway, that's just one way of trying to remember what the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th words are to describe a figure. Does that make sense? A 9-sided figure, it's not a navagon, it's a non-agon, so it's really close. Does that make sense? Anyway, there is something, here's the deal. The other way of describing one of these figures is whether or not it is regular or irregular. A regular polygon means that all the sides are the same. A square, where all the sides are the same, how do you know that all the sides are the same there? First of all, did I draw them so that they are perfectly the same? No. How do you know that I meant to draw them where they're all the same? Do you know? The little lines, right? The little slash marks. That tells you that I meant to draw them all the same. If I wanted to let you know that they were not all the same, I would go like this. And now, what does this become? This is not a square anymore. This is a rectangle. Well, kind of. It would be a rectangle if I had done this and told you that was a 90-degree angle. But we'll get into that later. Either way, this would be called a regular polygon. A regular because all the sides are the same. This is a regular... What type of polygon? Quadrilateral. It's a regular quadrilateral. We happen to have a very specific name for a regular quadrilateral, and that is a square, right? A square is a regular quadrilateral. If I have I did not draw that very well, so I put those lines to make it very clear. What is this called? It's a hexagon. What type of hexagon? It is a regular hexagon. All the sides are the same, even though I didn't draw them perfect at all. I'm letting you know by little slashes that I meant to make this a regular hexagon. Okay? If I gave you this, what shape is that? What is that? No, what is that? It's a polygon. Yes, polygon. What else is it? It's a hexagon. How many sides does it have? 6. Do you see the 6 sides? It's a hexagon. Is it a regular hexagon? Are all the sides the same? No. So then what's it called? An irregular hexagon. Does that make sense? It's an irregular hexagon. It is a polygon. Because what's a polygon again? A closed figure that has nothing but segments, right? Line segments. Closed figure with segments, okay? What about this? Okay. First of all, I want you to tell me what it is. No, it's not a rhombus. It's a polygon. Awesome. What else is it? It's a quadrilateral. How do you know it's a quadrilateral? 4 sides. Awesome. And they're all segments. Is it a square? If I wanted it to be a square, what would I have done? Right, I would have done this. But even if I had done this, people, if I had done this, then, yes, you'd be right. It's a rhombus. That is not a square. A square is, it has to have 90-degree angles, right? A square has 4 sets of 90-degree angles. That's a square. Make sense? Now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. There is some special types of quadrilaterals, okay? We're going to talk about the special types of quadrilaterals. One, first of all, anything like this, that is a polygon, which is this is also a quadrilateral. Is this a regular quadrilateral? No, it's an irregular quadrilateral. Here's the deal. If I tell you that if I was to go like this and draw little lines like this, little arrows on there, what I am trying to tell you is that those 2 sets of lines, that this line here and this line here are parallel. If I have 1 set of parallel lines, not 2 sets, 1 set of parallel lines, then this is called a trapezoid. It's called a trapezoid. All of these things are on page 387, okay? Just so you know. No, I'm not taking questions right now. That's called a trapezoid. If there is, in a quadrilateral, there is 2 sets of parallel lines. Notice how I made sure that I saw there was 2 sets. The 2 that are parallel have 2 arrows each. These 2 that are parallel have 1 each, right? I'm letting you know that this right here and this right here are parallel, and I'm letting you know that this and this are parallel. You see how there are 2 sets of parallel lines? You know what I'm talking about? If there are 2 sets of parallel lines in a quadrilateral, then it is now a parallelogram. Right? Okay. There's also a few special types of parallelograms. In one type of parallelogram, it has 4 sets of 90-degree angles, but right, they're all not the same length sides. This is a parallelogram that has 90-degree angles. What is this called? This is a rectangle. What's that called? That's a square. That is a polygon. It's a quadrilateral. It's a regular quadrilateral. It is a parallelogram, and it's a square. Now, here's the deal. Actually, it's something else too. I'm going to do it like this. It'll make my life easier. Oh, please stop. Here we go. Okay, a lot of you might call that a diamond, right? Yeah. Okay, that's like a first grader's, like way of saying this. Notice that I have, what do I have here? 2 sets of parallel lines. I'm also going to go like this. I'm also going to put like a little slash in here to let you know that all the sides are equal. Now, I have a question. It's a parallelogram, and all the sides are equal. So is this a square? No, it's not a square. What makes it a square if it's a square? Has to have all right angles. This doesn't. This is called a rhombus. Soon here, people, I'm going to be pulling out some compasses for us to play with, and I'll show you how to make a rhombus. Okay, how to construct a rhombus. with a tool that only makes circles. I'm going to show you how to make a rhombus, one of these, with a tool that only draws circles. It's pretty exciting. You go, how could circles possibly help me make a rhombus and have it be perfect? I'll show you guys. Not today. Anyway, all of the possible answers that you will need for this lesson are on page 386 and 387. So as you're going through the lesson and you go, I can't remember what this is. I can't remember what, where should you go look? 386, 387, right? You're right here. You're right here. Just follow the directions and you will be fine. And do some thinking. You should be just fine. Make sense? Sometimes they'll say like, all quadrilaterals are parallelograms. True or false? Is all quadrilaterals parallelograms? Can you draw me a quadrilateral that's not a parallelogram? What about this? Is that a quadrilateral? How many sides does it have? 4. Quadrilateral. Is that a parallelogram? No. Okay, so then when I say all parallelograms are quadrilaterals, or when I say all quadrilaterals are parallelograms, that's false. What if I said that all parallelograms are quadrilaterals? All parallelograms are quadrilaterals. Is that true? Parallelogram. All parallelograms are quadrilaterals. Is that true? Yeah, if it's a parallelogram, then it's a quadrilateral. Does that make sense? You have to do some thinking. You're going to have to do some thinking. Sometimes they make you fill in the blank. Sometimes, always, never. You guys should be fine. Hopefully you get it done before class is over with and then you don't have any homework. Let me see.